Today, the top 10 beginner's tips on setting up a saltwater aquarium.
This is your first aquarium, this is your first foray into the saltwater world. We have the top 10 tips that we both wish somebody would have told us in the beginning that would save us a lot of heartache. But we've got them first for you here so you don't have to do the same thing. Starting with tip number 1.
Tip number 1 would have saved me something like 3,000 posts in all kinds of forums all over the world. If somebody would have just told me that this is actually really, really easy, setting up a tank, anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it.
The difference here, why it seems hard, is not the application of knowledge or the set of rules to do it. It's acquiring that knowledge and that like sea of advice that's out there.
Yeah, so you might hear or read, or you just, even if you search how to set up a reef tank or a saltwater aquarium, you get all kinds of articles and forums and groups and posts and videos and things like that. A lot of it can be pretty daunting and overwhelming, but it's not that hard. You just have to listen or find the right source of information.
Yep, so that's really the big tip here, is if you're doing this for the first time, find a single source of information. We have lots of videos here on how to set up a brand new tank. You can use those, and it really doesn't matter what you pick, but pick one group or one person that has produced the type of tank that you would like, and then just emulate that, and you'll almost certainly succeed. Number 2, sometimes I steal the tips as we build the story here, but...
Yeah, but this is a really important tip, and that is just what he said. Find somebody to emulate, or find some teacher or a single person, rather than listening to all of the people out there who are doing the reefing thing. Some of them don't even, or just know about as much as you do about the hobby from the same research they got. So, choose a person or a tank that is your dream, that's your goal, and then go listen to how that person did it.
So I think the best bet in many cases is actually find somebody at a fish store that can actually walk you through the process, tell you exactly what to do. Here's the steps that you would do, and just follow it. Don't deviate.
Nope.
First tank, just follow it, see the success, and then you can kind of venture out from there. If you don't have that kind of resource, we have a series called the 5-Minute Guide here that you can follow, which is, attempt to emulate that. There's about 20 different little steps to it in little 5-minute chunks. In the time that it would take you to watch a single movie, you'd know everything there is to know to set up one of these tanks. But really, again, find a mentor. Don't ask all of your peers and debate this for 3,000 posts. Just find something that works and follow it. All right, number 3, this is one that I don't think enough people do.
Yeah, so you're ready to get your tank, and now you're thinking about where it's going to go and how you're going to set it up. Well, that first part of where it's going to go is actually really important, because you want to pick a location that you're going to spend a lot of time in. One, you're going to interact with the tank because it's fun, it's a hobby, everything is beautiful to look at. 2, because then you can monitor the tank and monitor if it's going bad or if it's going good. And 3, just sit back and just enjoy the tank after you got it set up.
The fact is, a well-observed tank is one that gets better care and will likely be a lot more successful. But a lot of people will start this off with, I want a 40-gallon tank, I want a 90-gallon tank, and then they go trying to find a place to put it.
In the basement.
Yeah, it goes in the basement, it goes wherever you want to put it. Really, I think more successfully, especially for that first tank, is find an area of the house where you would really love to have a tank, and then pick the tank size and all those other things and base it around that. Because if I can watch it while I'm watching TV, I can look at it while I'm sitting down and having my first beer after work, or I can enjoy it while I'm having dinner. Anywhere where I spend time means not only is it going to stay clean and look nice and be well cared for, but I actually get to enjoy it a lot more as well.
Yep.
So first step when selecting a tank is pick an area of the house, whether it be your living room, an office, anywhere where you think you're going to enjoy it the most. Number 4, I stole it again.
Yeah, the tip is, so once you have your location picked out, this is where my tank's gonna go. Now find that tank that fits that size. So, maybe you have a wall that has a 6-foot span on it, and you think, man, that'd be a great place for a tank. You could probably entertain, 4-foot to 6-foot tanks to fill that space. But if you have a little space in the corner, or the corner of the living room, or somewhere in the dining room, or your office, maybe a taller stand or smaller, cube-style tank, maybe that's the way to go. But choose the right size tank for the location it's going in.
Yeah, there's other factors here. Now that you've decided where it's going to go, how much weight can the floor support there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And most tanks are going to support anything up to 90 to 120 gallon without a lot of thought, especially if it's pushed up against the wall and sitting across multiple joists. It's actually pretty easy. But once you get like monster tanks, they end up going in the basement a lot. So you get into your 180 gallon tanks, you get into something larger than that, and generally you want to put it in the basement right on the concrete slab. So, think about the size and what you want to do and where you want to put it, and then think about the size of the tank or how the tank's going to fit there. All right, number 5, this is probably one of the best pieces of advice for every new reefer because it'll make it a lot easier and probably look a lot nicer in your house as well.
Yeah, so the tip here is get an all-in-one tank. It's so much easier. You don't have to think about sump and equipment that fits in the sump. A lot of times these all-in-one tanks come with filtration like socks and skimmers, and mainly all you have to do is kind of put a heater in and some power heads for flow and you're good to go because a lot of them come with lights as well. So these all-in-one options turn out really great. Just take a look at Ryan's E170 in his office.
Yeah, so an all-in-one means that in the back there's a little compartment in there that houses all your heaters, sumps, or filters and everything, and it's just out of sight, and you don't have to look at all these things dangling in your tank, and you don't have to deal with all this plumbing that goes to this big giant sump underneath the tank. So there's all kinds of advantages and reasons that you'd like to have a big old sump with all this extra equipment down there, but it adds a lot of complexity to a brand new tank. Whereas, having that all-in-one compartment in the back means I just drop the heater in for the most part. I drop the skimmer that came with it, again, the lights. It's just a really, really simple, easy way to do it. And don't listen to anybody who tells you you absolutely need a sump because, again, you can look at that E170 that he just mentioned in my office. This is an all-in-one tank from Red Sea. It's an SPS dominant tank, one of the hardest types of corals that you can maintain, and just thriving on really just some water changes and some good maintenance practices. We actually have a series on how to do that specific tank in the WWC series. But yeah, we also did the exact same style of tank in the 5-minute guide as well.
Did too.
But yeah, all-in-one tank, really clean and really easy. Number 6, this is the thing you should do this very next weekend.
So the tip is to go to your fish stores. Go to your local fish stores and just start to get an idea of what kind of fish are available, what kind of corals are available. Now you can start to go back to that first tip and find a local fish store that you trust and you have an idea of what you somebody to listen to and somebody to take advice from. All of your reef, all of your gear is there. There's just a whole bunch of supplies. Everything you need are at these stores. But if you live in an area that has a few stores, I would even set like this geo 3-hour drive circle around where I'm at and just pick out all the stores and spend the weekend visiting them, seeing what's out there.
My circle is probably a little smaller than that, but I would definitely drive to every store within the area of my house. You're going to see inspiration. You're going to see the tanks that they have set up there. You're going to see all the fish. You're going to see all the coral. You're also going to get a pulse on which one of these stores is now my go-to store. Because if I took one day to see all that inspiration, see all those tanks, get to meet some of the people there, one of these stores is going to stand out, hopefully become that mentor that you're looking for that can really help you guide in getting the right tools for the right job here the first time and help you be successful. Number 7, this costs a little bit more, but it's actually worth it specifically for new reefers.
Yeah, so here's the tip. Real reef rock is worth it. That's the purple stuff that already has some bacteria on it. And also, sand is worth it. And it just makes the process your first year a whole lot easier.
If you stumbled onto some bare bottom threads about tanks have some value without sand, just skip that over for your first tank. Put the sand in there. It'll help filter the tank. It'll help cycle the tank and make it more stable right away. But this real reef rock here, this stuff actually costs a few dollars more a pound, but it will instantly look nice in the tank.
Purple.
It looks purple. So once you put the blue lights from the aquariums and in the water, it looks stunning in the tank day one. And it also tends not to grow the same types of algae. It adds biodiversity because it's sold to you kind of damp with, it's been soaking in water actually for months.
Yes.
It's just going to cycle a lot easier, making that first stage of the tank so much easier than standard white dry rock. So the best piece of advice probably that will change the trajectory the most of the day might be the rock choice, and selecting something like this will look good day one. You'll be really happy with it, and it'll actually just make the whole progress a lot easier as well. Number 8, don't overlook these guys.
Yeah, tip is Tangs are your tank's best friend, especially in that first year where some of the newer beginner reefers in their first year battle with like algae. And it can either send you completely out of the hobby, I never want to do this again, or you can overcome it and now you're more prepared to fight it in the future. But one of the best tools out there for fighting these algae is something that eats algae all day, every day, which is your Tangs.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people would be surprised that algae might be one of the things you need to beat and overcome in your first year of maintaining a reef tank.
Happens.
You got water, high-powered lights. But if you can put these Tangs in your tank, all they do, if you watch them the whole day, their primary job is just run around and eat algae off the rocks. Even if there is algae growing in here, you'll never know it because they ate it all.
Yep.
And so there's all kinds of tanks. There's actually other herbivorous fish you can go out there and get, like rabbitfish and other things, not just tangs. Tangs tend to be one of the best bets for that. Specifically bristle-toothed tangs like the white-tailed tangs. So, you know, look at those. Also, it's getting a little harder to get yellow tangs and purple tangs, but those are near and dear to my heart and actually one of my
Really
favorites
good
that put in
cleanup.
every tank.
Yeah.
For that reason, I also like to get larger tanks. Like if I was going to give anybody advice on the right size tank and I had to pick only one, it'd be a 120-gallon tank because it houses fish like Tangs really easy. It has that stability of a larger size, but I'm just going to have a way more successful path. Short of that, it's probably the 40-gallon breeder. You can still put Tangs in there, but they may outgrow the tank and you'll have to give them back to the store and swap them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tangs will make it so much easier, and really you can bypass and never even know many of the problems that a lot of people have had because the Tangs ate it all. All right, number 9, the bane of all reefers is water changes. But I think there's some tips here on how to make them easier so you do them and actually see, again, be more successful and take off a little bit of the time.
Yeah, so that is the tip. Make those water changes easier for you, and there's ways to do that. Number one way is to make your own water at home. I used to go lug around buckets of water from all over the place, bring it home, mix it, then do my water changes, but that got really old really quick, and then I started making my own water at home. So just mix some RODI water with some salt in your own home. You have water on demand whenever you need it, especially if you run into an issue, if water's ready to go. That's one of the easiest ways, but there's also like tools that can make your water changes easier.
So yeah, if you have a 10-gallon tank or 20-gallon tank, you can buy some water from the store,
Oh, yeah.
go bring up some 5-gallon buckets. It might be the easiest way. Past that, producing the water in your house means that it'll actually be there when you need it,
Yep.
meaning that you'll actually do it. Because if you have to drive to the fish store to get water, the chances are you're probably not going to do it. So just mixing up some RODI water and salt is the way to go. But there's other ways to do it to make it easier too. So like they make this thing called the Python, which you can hook up right to your sink, and when I turn it on, creates a vacuum and it'll just suck water right out of the tank and dump it in my drain.
Yep.
Means I'm not getting water all over the floor or anything like
Don't
that.
have to start a
It's just-
siphon.
Yeah, I'm not putting tubes in my mouth. Yeah. It's just really easy to suck the water out, and because it's so easy, I'll do it. In fact, I have a hybrid version of that at my house I did very last night.
Oh, yeah.
I have the Python, but I also have this C-shape pump called the Zero.
Yep, the Ultra Zero.
You screw on the Ultra Zero, the Python tubing to the Ultra Zero, and I just put it in my tank, plug it in, and it sucks all the water out and sends it down the drain. Then when I'm done, I go over to my Brute trash can or the bin that I have all the water in. I drop the Ultra Zero in there, plug it in, and it sends all the water into the tank.
Easy.
I'm done.
Easy.
It takes almost no time and effortless and doesn't have any mess. So think about those ways to make it easier and you'll actually do it. All right, so number 10, the 2 best tips that we could think of today and maybe the most helpful to somebody thinking about doing this for the first time.
My number one tip is this is so easy that really all you need to be successful is a tank full of water and some water changes, maybe some flow, maybe some lights, but it's not every piece of equipment that you read out there. You don't need it. You can get this done with some simple equipment.
So related to that, like you're gonna see a laundry list of protein skimmers, UV sterilizers, all that other stuff out there. Those are all optional pieces of equipment. Just that glass box and water change will take you a really long way. So for me, actually, we've said that this is really, really hard in the past. We say that in the beginning of the 5-minute guide.
Yeah.
And it's really come across to me that it actually isn't that hard.
Not much.
It's, again, the acquisition of knowledge versus the application of knowledge.
Yep.
Just finding the right person to listen to. So I'm going to offer up some of our efforts here. So I think the 5-minute guide, if I was going to say to the one thing that'd be the most helpful to reefers to look at this for the first time, it's the 5-minute guide to reefing. And you can find it right here. This thing will have every topic we've discussed, but in detail, and how to really get this thing set up and running in 5-minute little guides. We'll see you there.